guys, welcome out to the shop today. One of the things I really want to get done today and completed is working on the molding and attaching the top of the bookcase. The first part I'm going to be working with is around the bottom. I want a simple, just flowing kind of molding that's going to go from the sides down into the base of it. For that, I'm going to be using just the 1x4s that I have, and it's going to stick out a little bit further on the edges with a nice, probably like an OG bit, I believe I'm going to be using. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So one of the first things I did, I had 2 sticks of this 1x4 left, one of these shorter ones and one at a full 8-foot length. I went ahead and took some measurements. My sides are roughly about 11 inches, and then my top is 30 inches wide. So I have to have enough overhang so I can do the 45-degree corners. So what I need to make sure I do is on the front, I need to make sure I leave 1.5 inches overhang of that 30 inches. And then on the sides, I have to add an extra 3/4 of an inch to accommodate for the front piece being on there. So right now I'm going to go ahead and cut off roughly of a 55-inch section. And then I'm going to take the entire piece over to the router and route the whole thing all at once. Now, so that I don't mess up my actual finished piece I just cut, I've got the scrap piece right here that I'm going to go ahead and test my 45-degree angle cuts on my miter saw to make sure they're dead on before I go doing any kind of finish work. That way, if I mess up, it's done on this scrap piece instead of a finished piece. Now that we've gotten all 3 of our pieces cut out, I've already checked them and made sure that everything is nice and tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and just attach these boards using some glue and some brad nail. Now I'm doing the front, that's just my preference because I can adjust the sides later. So now that we've got the base molding all completed with that Roman OG bit, we're going to go ahead and use an actual molding plane to create the top profile. This has some little rounds, some hollows and stuff like that. And I've already been practicing a little bit on another board just to make sure that it's almost perfect before I actually take it to the finished work. So what I've got, I went ahead and cut 2 pieces at 12 inches and one at 34 inches, and that's just going to be the band to go around the top. And I've left them a little bit longer because I've got my plane stop that has the teeth on it to hold it, and I don't want to have those indentation marks on here right now. So one thing that I've learned real quick while using this, trying it out and stuff, is to take your time. Don't really rush through it. Pay attention to your angle marks right here about how you have to hold it and stuff like that, and then just, you know, go with it. And if you get hung up, just go ahead and reset and try to do it all over again. So now that we've gotten all of this molding made up for the sides, what I need to do is go ahead and take all of these over to the bandsaw. I've already taken this one, and this is what it's gonna look like. It's got just over 1/8 of an inch right here. I took a marking gauge and actually ran it down from the opposite side to get my scribe line. And I'm gonna do that with all of those pieces. And then I'm gonna be taking this over to the router real quick and putting a little cove in here. This is kind of cupped, and that is one reason why I'm not gonna try to do this with a hand plane. I do have a molding plane that is a cove setup. See, right here, I've already did it. So my molding is gonna be set up somewhat like this, right there. So I've got to get the cove made, and the reason why I'm not using the hand plane is because of the bow in here. So this is just on the lawn side. I just wanted to test it out, see what it would look like, and that's what it looks like. So I'm happy with it. We're gonna try to take this over to the router and get this finished. All right, so after doing a few test runs on the router table with the cove bit I have, I was not happy at all with how it looked. It was too small for what I was looking for. So I ended up coming back over to the workbench, pulling out the Cove molding plane, and got to town. A couple of things I wanted to go over real quick. When you're doing the edges of boards, you always want to do the end grains first. This is very choppy. I sharpened my blade, or the iron, right before using it and threw it on the strop. It's still a little rough, just mainly because it's the pine. But also one thing that I didn't do on the other side of my board is use a backer board. This is going to be the front of my board, so I'm going to be able to plane away whatever tear out is on the other side. But if I had tear out on this side, it would show really bad, and there wouldn't be anything to take it away. So what I did was take a sacrificial board, put it on the back side, and that way this board was getting the tear out, not my good board that I'm actually going to be using. So now I'll flip it around and actually do this lawn side, and then I'll be able to mount this onto the bookcase and then mount all those other little pieces of molding. And that is that. That is what this molding is supposed to look like. I think this is what I want it to look like. I hope you guys can see it. It looks really nice. I think it looks really nice. I like the bevel right here rolled up into the cove. Then you got the little bead, and then it goes flat to flat, then to another cove area. I really like the transition that it has there. And then you got the flat of the face frame, which is nice. That's all I'm gonna get to today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and seeing the difference with the whole molding plane. These things are fairly cheap. They're about $40 for a molding plane that does a specific shape just like this. And this was an excellent choice for this bookcase. I think it really accents the top and it will look very nice. It's also good to have other options, just like how I thought I was gonna be able to do the cove on my router table, but I was unable to do it. So I ended up having to go back to using a hand plane just on the workbench and got that job done. Sometimes things just don't work out, and if you have multiple alternatives to get things done, it really helps. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, as well as giving the video a thumbs up and sharing it all around on all the social media networks. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next video.